Take a look at the Vancouver Titans here, and yeah, we see this lineup. Tiro is actually going to be playing in the starting lineup here, which is interesting. It's been a bit of a narrative, as far as I'm aware, as well recently, where people have been wondering, where is this guy? Why isn't he playing more often? Well, here he is, finally fighting, or at least trying to assist his team in their first win.
Exactly, and with all breadsticks aside, the Vancouver Titans are 0-10 right now, so that is what they're playing for. If you look at the beginning of the season and expectations for these teams, yeah, people did not have high expectations for Vancouver. But when you look deep enough in the season, this was one that people penciled in as, okay, maybe they can get the win here. The Paris Eternal squad is kind of a ragtag bunch of European contenders players. That's pretty much the same way that the Vancouver Titans were built. A bunch of contenders players coming together from some, not the most dominant team in North America, but a bunch of like the second, third, fourth place teams coming together to make a squad. The way that these teams have been assembled is somewhat similar, except the Vancouver Titans was much more last minute in 2020. So that's the key difference here, is that the Paris Eternal seem to have found a system that really works for them, and they've outperformed expectations massively. So while you might have penciled this in as a potential win for Vancouver at the beginning of the season, it just doesn't seem like it now.
Yeah, you can see that seismic slam right around the corner, taking a ton of damage, gets the punch off though. Comes onto Onigod. Nice pin though, comes out from Dan to try and turn it around. He's so weak, I can't imagine he survives this yet. Fire's going to bring him down, Bastola as well, demeched. I feel like they're all so low though. Dalton on 1 health. Surely not. 40 health on him. Has to back off around, but the rest of his team is going to be the remech as well onto Frywiener. So back into the action. Yep, straight for the choke point. They don't want to let them even try and touch this point. The team becomes through. That is a big shatter. Dan catching onto the one target, not getting that kill. That's because of the immortality field that was laid down, but it matters not. The damage is already done.
Actually try and use... Oh! Dan went for a pin there, expecting them to be using the teleporter, so they got all of that space for free just off a little bait.
And that's the immortality field that comes out, but now the sound barrier. How do you withstand this? They're just doing so much damage to them right now. Yes, the Amp Matrix is on the high ground, but can anybody even capitalize off of this? Self-destruct straight up into the air, it's huge! Fried Wiener with 2. Bastola going to try and answer with one of his own as well. Going to get the recall of the mech. Just in the safety, but the Vancouver Titans flipping the point over thanks to some heroics from Fried for them. Terudo gets brought down! He tried to go for the seismic slam around the corner, but just gets shot out of the sky. Now the sound barrier built up. Drijo is trying to keep his team alive. The self-destruct not going to be finding any targets. Point still being played here. Big shatter off onto the side, but the momentum carries them round the corner. Fried might have overstepped himself as well. So low, and that Earth Shatter connects. 2 down on the floor. What a ridiculous turnaround here for the Paris Eternal. And that is absolute shambles for the Vancouver Titans, considering the tools they had at their disposal. Not going to be getting the map. The Paris Eternal leading 1-0.
And there they weren't able to commit to the fights properly. Weren't able to isolate Drijo and take him out. That's a nice little flank from Linksa that sets them up with a bit of an advantage.
Because there's nothing to really enable you. I mean,
is that value from a Genji?
I mean, Genji in 2021, here it is. He's forced out the immortality fields, and he's trying to get the swings coming through. Stunned up. Nice little, again, 2-pronged approach there coming out from the Paris Eternal as they are still taking this high ground. But yeah, no value going to be gained there from the Dragon Blade, but the burst damage is coming through anyway. Dalton turning it around though. That Pulse Bomb connecting onto Bastola. Still trying to stay alive, but not going to be receiving the healing there. And with the rally in the back line, a dangerous scenario. You see the counter charges coming out there, I believe, onto the Brigitte players, putting them down, but the Paris Eternal finally breaking through that hold that the Vancouver Titans had. Dalton dying again there. That's not ideal. And they can slowly push out these little extremities here as they're pushing right into the final section of Junkertown. Khan building up this Amp Matrix. As soon as he gets this, you know it's going to be deadly. Lays it down. Immortality field to save his team. It's clinical. Watching a master at work right here from this point of view. Another blade being built up here by Naga, and that is a beautiful set of kills. Supplemented there with the supercharger. They're going to be finishing with 14 seconds to spare.
All in all, not an unusually high time bank, or not Vancouver putting up too much resistance. It's just Paris managing to get the payload across the line despite some mistakes and despite some unusual compositions and engagements.
A lot of eyes on Linksa here to try and set up a lot of that damage coming through. The beam comes down. Doesn't quite connect the kill, but Onigod has fallen. Be some nice sticky bombs. Majority of them getting 8 up there, though. Finding it hard to get too much done. The icicles of Naga. That is beautiful aim finding out on the moving target. It's hard enough, I suppose. That's a lovely ice wall that blocks off a lot of that Deadeye. This Primal Rage should get value in close quarters, but Chansik is frozen up. Still, the ice block. He's trying to go for this one target. Eventually, they find Naga. But Paris Eternal not giving up here just yet. Dan with a huge anti-nade actually gets applied to him. That's all for Rolf. Means he can't be healed through that one. So finally, Josh, finally, they break through this chokehold that they had at the spawn door. But 10 seconds remaining. And they're only halfway through checkpoint A.
Well, if he builds it up and he can get it. Oh,
The hack onto Linksa! The hack onto Linksa. He couldn't rate form out. Now you see this nano boost onto Chansik. He needs to try and get something done, but the sound barrier is really just stopping him from getting any sort of ult charge being built. Has to jump away from the Blizzard, the overtime going. This is all Paris Eternal right now. And one by one, they are going to fall, the Vancouver Titans. Not even close when it comes to that map. The Paris Eternal going to be leading the series now 2-0.
And you can't be too sloppy when you play against Vancouver. They will punish obvious mistakes. You know, they're still Overwatch League level players. So something like that, where Onigod just tries to sneak his way in, Dalton's on top of it. They've still got that fire to play. A minute just nicked off the clock here, and Khan's still only at 40% of the nano boost. So no major inroads, but again, it's Chansik caught out. How many times in the series? Naga, there we go. Good eat actually from FRD. Gobbled up that Bionade that was headed into the back lines, and it's Dan, sorry, that takes the nano boost.
Yes, you can see a bit of a dive into the backline there. Khan gets taken down. Dive. It was a counter dive, came out with the nano boost applied onto Chansik. And it's an even fight, but an even fight still works out for the Vancouver Titans, or as I say that. Oh, have I spoken too soon? Chansik's so close to falling there. Grabbed. The big old health pack is going to get brought up to about half HP. Has to back off, though, with the help of his team. And Paris are still in this one. Dalton, though, he's not having it. He's going to be tracking down Onigod and takes him out. And now he can focus his attention onto the point. Nice tracking through the air. Almost cleaving through Darn. Has a pulse bomb in hand as well. Looking for an opportunity to just let it rip and see if he can turn this fight around for his team and make it just that bit more competitive for them. Dodging that sleep comes through. That pulse bomb not quite connecting. 15 health, has to use the recall.
Dan managed to get up his Primal Rage in the midst of that, almost brought down. And Onigod is still doing work. He gets revenge on Dalton this time around, clips him with some criticals to the head. And the Vancouver Titans are desperate here. Fire pop in the rally, trying to get back in, but Pistola zoning everybody away, catches that kill onto Rolf, and it's only FRD playing the objective.
Deadeye from the side. That was Pistola eating it with the defense matrix from the side. Beautiful heads-up play there from the off-tank of the Paris Eternal, and this is a very quick capture indeed. 3 minutes, 42 seconds. Not playing around. They had a bit of a stall moment there when they were losing a couple of players here and there, but not going to be denied that checkpoint B. Onto both Fire and Linksa, forcing them back for now. Drijo is just making sure that Chansik can't get away with anything. Slept up onto the ground, but Pistola taken out. Khan, though, these are shots onto Rolf as well, trying to sink it up with the backline. This is ridiculous. Nobody's dealt with Khan on the high ground, and he's just following up on all the damage that Onigod's doing.
That is outrageous. He got a Bionade into the backline and takes down both of the supports on his own. He needs to be dealt with, and he can't be. They killed Chansik as well. That is absurd.
This is absurd. I mean, look at him. He's tearing through them. A bit of a overstaying his welcome, I suppose, there. He does see Linksa led in with the Deadeye there, and every time you think Vancouver Titans are going to get this pick, Naga's there in the back line. The duplicate now over to the Ana, and he's finding the pickoffs for it. The heals as well, look at this! Can't being kept up straight through it, the Nano Boost applied onto Pistola. I mean, why not? You're building it up so quickly. And at this point, they're just stalling.
They have double sleep to be able to stagger as well. Okay, they don't end up going for it, but in theory there, they could have staggered Fried for a long, long time. Lynx has made the move over to Hanzo, which he can operate from slightly longer ranges, he can play the high grounds a little more, perhaps it will be helpful, but he doesn't have the CC to stop the Paris Eternal's dives.
And the aggression comes through, Onigod with the pulse, that is a great stick. Rolf's out of the fight, Fire's out of the fight. The Vancouver Titans have no heals with 10 seconds remaining. That's the quick little beat down there from Onigod, and at this point, it's pretty much over, unless somebody's going to be able to touch in 2 seconds remaining. Chansik will commit to it, but yeah, he's going to pay with his life. And that is going to be the Paris Eternal getting a nice 3-0 sweep. Going to be pleased with that one. They've secured a place in the knockouts. GG in the chat all around. and disappointment once more for the Vancouver Titans.